significance of the previous Labor member's speech will not have been lost on this side of the House, nor will it have been lost on the people of New Zealand who are listening in. Because what that member just advanced was an argument against efficiency in government. An argument against efficiency in government. One of the purposes of this bill is to absorb the National Archives and the National Libraries into the Department of Internal Affairs. That is an act of efficiency in government. And that is what the Labor Party has made very, very clear this afternoon it is opposed to. Efficiency in government. The best figures that I've seen, Mr Speaker, suggest that the potential savings out of this merger alone would be something in the order of $8 million a year. $8 million a year. So not only, Mr Speaker, is the Labor Party arguing against efficiency in government, it is also arguing against thrift in government. Because the money that will be saved from this action, from the passage of this bill, is not the Labor Party's money. It is not the individual Labor MP's money. It is the money of the taxpayer of New Zealand. And how, in the difficult fiscal times that New Zealand currently lives through, with all the other demands that government has upon it, the main opposition party can get up in this House and argue firstly against efficiency in government and secondly against thrift in government is beyond me and beyond members on this side of the House. I am bound to say that as Chair of the Education and Science Select Committee, I'm very, very much looking forward to chairing the hearings into this bill, and I'm looking very much forward to the Labor Party, as it always does in these matters, approaching these hearings in a positive way, and I'm sure that we will work cooperatively on this exercise. And I do just want to make one observation about the National Library, because it has actually been a pleasure to serve on the Science, Education and Science Select Committee and to have been responsible for reviewing the performance of the National Library. That responsibility no longer rests with that committee, and I'm sorry about that, because the committee worked in a most non-political way in the interest that it took in the library and in the fostering of the library's interests. So as chairman of the committee that did have oversight of the library, I just wanted to make that comment. I want to move now to the other significant provision in the bill, and that is the amalgamation of the Foundation for Research, Science and Technology and the Ministry of Research, Science and Technology into a new Ministry of Science and Innovation. I'm pleased to note, Mr Speaker, that the previous Labor Party Speaker did indicate that the Labor Party was not in principle opposed to this action, and I would express the hope that in due course that party will vote accordingly. There can be no doubt at all that this country, as part of its economic recovery, as part of building a sustainable economy in the future, needs to rethink its approach towards science and the role that science plays in a growing modern economy. Now, I can probably stand here, Mr Speaker, and predict the next Labor Party spokesperson's line on this, and do you know what it'll be all about? It'll be about more money. More money from the taxpayer to throw in at science. I predict that now. More money, throw more money at it, just as they did for 9 years. Any situation that came up, throw other people's money at it, she'll be right. But of course, it wasn't right. It isn't right. It is neither responsible nor correct. What is needed in the scientific community in New Zealand today is a coherent, planned, logical approach as to how this country can best develop and use science in the national interest. Mr. Speaker, this side of the House is obviously supporting the State Sector Management Bill. I'm speaking in favour of it. I'm looking forward to chairing the Select Committee hearings into it, and I commend the bill to the House on its first reading.